Hey guys, this is Kaijuzilla, and today I'm going to do a more in-depth explanation video for my version of Biollante that exists in my version of Godzilla Monster Planet. Biollante is the most important kaiju in my Godzilla universe because she forms the base of all life on Earth from the point that she is created. She completely changes the world after her emergence as a kaiju. You see, the events of Godzilla versus Biollante essentially play out the same. Um, it's this guy, his daughter. He's trying to keep her alive. He splices her DNA with a rose. The rose is all the roses are nearly destroyed, and so he uses G cells to splice with the rose to form a tribrid kaiju that is Biollante. So it's a plant human Godzilla tribrid, and Biollante is she basically has all the powers and abilities from the movies. But in my version, right after Godzilla sends all those the pollen particles, whatever that is, into the atmosphere, instead of going into space, or maybe some of them go into space, but generally, instead of that, they spread into the upper atmosphere and are carried by uh, wind currents across the globe. So Biollante spreads across the globe quite rapidly. And whenever she sets down, she begins to grow. And when she grows, of course, she's got all her powers where she can regenerate rather quickly. And she begins to spread across the globe. Ever since like 1989, she spreads and spreads and becomes the largest kaiju on Earth through sheer biomass because she, over time, covers nearly the entire globe. Except for like there's Hedorah. Hedorah has also been growing on Earth for several years before this. And so basically, what you get is a kind of yin and yang kind of thing, where like Biollante is life and merges with the earth. Hedorah feeds on pollution and is toxic, and wherever he is, there is virtually no other life there. So while this is going on, you have Mothra and Batra. Mothra and Batra have basically realized that humans are detrimental to the earth. Leave them around, they're going to pollute. Hedorah is going to grow. They're going to stop Hedorah. And Biollante merges with the earth, and so they form a kind of alliance where Biollante and Batra and Mothra work together to stop the spread of Hedorah. Godzilla helps as well, but he's more neutral slash doesn't care. Okay, but Biollante is important because when she merges with the Earth and creates this environment, she adds a ton of energy and biomass into Earth's ecosystems. She does this in a way similar to, similar to the Heisei Godzilla. When Godzilla is thrown into that volcano, when he comes back out, he's stronger. This is because he's absorbed some, from what I've heard, he's absorbed some uranium deposits within the Earth. Well, Biollante is able to, as a plant, she absorbs solar radiation, but she also taps into Earth's geothermal energy by sending tendrils deep within the Earth's crust, reaching the mantle and perhaps even the core. She brings in this geothermal energy to power herself, to power her growth, and this, in turn, anything that eats Biollante gets a bunch of extra energy. So Kaiju feed on Biollante. Godzilla feeds on Biollante. And that's how animals are able to grow stronger and larger over time. Because Biollante brings in so much extra energy to this ecosystem. And over time, working with Mothra and Batra, she is able to shrink Hidora's population, basically, to a small area of the planet after like 20,000 years. She basically covers the globe in all these vines and tendrils and her flowers and just, you know, and through her, Earth is able to survive and radically change. Regular creatures that feed on Biollante perhaps are also able to grow larger and stronger because they get all this extra energy and radiation causing mass mutations, so on and so forth. So yeah, Biollante is the most important part of Monster Planet. She's the food, she's the largest kaiju, the most common kaiju because she's covered the globe. Godzilla is huge, but in perspective, Biollante is larger and technically has more energy, but Godzilla's energy is more concentrated into a smaller source, you know? So yeah, that's how Biollante works. And basically, she also works with, like, say, baragons and zillas in a way similar to earthworms and plants. The baragons and zillas will burrow beneath the earth, loosening the soil so that she can send tendrils further down and spread. Mothra and Batra help her stop Hedorah because, of course, Hedorah grows huge by the time Biollante is around. And Biollante by herself couldn't really stop Hedorah. But yeah, with help, she's able to basically push back against Hedorah and re-energize and revitalize ecosystems ravaged by Hedorah. And yeah, that's basically Biollante. She becomes one with the earth. She energizes the earth. She creates this habitat for enormous creatures, a habitat that they can survive in. And yeah, I feel like that's a more interesting idea than what they went with in the anime. And to me, this just seems most logical. Like, how would you get a lush, kaiju-filled ecosystem? And my first thought was Biollante. So there you go. Biollante basically becomes one with the earth, super powerful, but she doesn't really like do much. She kind of lets other kaiju feed off the tendrils and vines, but she'll also try to keep balance. If one group becomes especially strong or Godzilla's wiping out, too many kaiju, she'll try to intervene. But, that doesn't always work out the best for her. Anyway, that's my video. That's my take on how Biollante should be. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, like, comment if you have any thoughts, and subscribe if you want. Hopefully I'll make another video soon. Bye.